beautiful humans. So we're in this line that we're moving through of value, desire, revealing value, or desire and need, revealing value in the cosmos, which reveals rights and responsibilities in the cosmos. But right now we're focusing a lot on this moment of desire and need, and what are these two? And one really big piece that plays into that is power. And I actually wanted to do something a little personal today, and share a little bit behind the scenes of what it's like actually engaging and having Dr. Marc Gafni as a teacher and a presence in your life, because it is an invaluable thing. And I think everybody who has spent time working with Dr. Marc Gafni understands how amazing it is. It is personal, but so yeah, Marc also refers to me in this audio message and kind of says like, Eli is going through boom. So yeah, just know that it's a message to me. And yeah, exactly.
So Eli says it comes down to presence. Marc responds, Eli, young Padawan, dear man, yes, and power.
My power making me cower, immense when I let heart flower. Your power making you cower, unlock the life that is ours. I remember it was the 6th grade, first time I saw my power make pain. Had a flip phone with a lot of girls' names, texted a few too many the same day. What can I say? Beauty brought the poet out. It felt so right just to speak my heart out. That was until they all found out, and apparently I was a jerk now. My power making me cower, immense when I let heart flower. Your power making you cower, unlock the life that is ours.
It comes down to presence and power. It's a willingness to feel that you're powerful in your kindness. Eli is powerful. He's afraid to be powerful, right? And I'm sure it shows up in your body, in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, right? In your loving, in your creativity, in your desire, right? In everything. You have to be powerful in your creativity, powerful in your leadership, powerful in your own internal discipline and rigor, powerful in round net, but powerful. Like power is a dimension of the divine. Right? God is the infinity of power. So if Eli is homo imago Dei, an image of God, if we participate in the divine field, so we're not just intimate, we're powerful. Right? When we say God's the infinity of intimacy, we're adding to the infinity of power. Right? Just imagine, right? A supernova. A supernova is a fraction of the power of reality. If that power moves in Eli is not just present, he's powerful.
Yeah, so Marc's going to come on in a second, but I just need to say thank you to Marc. And yeah, when you can receive messages like that from a teacher, it is, I mean, it's empowering, but empowering is a kind of banal word to describe how amazing it is to have someone look you in the eyes and say like, hey, you have the power and you can really make change. You can really do something great with your life. So I hope you all, during today's episode and every episode we do, get to feel a little bit of that light from Dr. Marc Gafni.
Thank you, Eli. Thank you. Right. Oh my God. Right. So Eli, actually, we were talking about a particular thing. And Eli left me a message saying, yeah, it's all about presence. Right. So this is my response, actually, literally, I don't know, an hour and a half ago, which was not intended, for public consumption, but, yeah, publicly consumed. So thank you, Eli. Thank you, Eli. Thank you, Eli. Big, beautiful, gorgeous, right? Gorgeous. And thank you, Christina Amelon, right? What an important Dharma recapitulation, right? And thank you, Krista, for kind of opening the space with heart and opening the eye of the heart, right? The way of the heart, right? It's the way of the heart, only the way of the heart. It's the only thing that is, it's the only thing that lives, it's the only thing that matters. It's always so good to be here. This is home. And who has that feeling with me? If you can kind of find it in your body, right? That just sense of being home. This is a home place. This is home. Well, we can rest here, and we can be activated, and we can be urgent, and we can be, ecstatically urgent. But just to feel that we're not at a program, we're home. Or welcome home, right? We're home. This is the mothership. This is ground zero. Right? This is home. This is the place of the holy and broken hallelujahs. This is the place that we step in to play a larger game. This is a place we step in to play a larger game. This is a place that we step in to participate in the evolution of love. And I want to say something, this week and next week, I want to talk specifically about a topic, on a number of levels, which I feel we desperately need to move forward. We desperately need to move forward. So every week we start with Krista, right? Meaning with Krista holding the space of the practice of chant. And then we move into this ritual Dharma recapitulation where it's not about information, it's about evoking and reliving and re-experiencing the new chapter in the story of value that we did last week, because we are actually in this moment between utopia and dystopia. We are building the story. We are building in that the new world. We are creating Noah's Ark, but Noah's Ark not as a way to escape the destruction, but as a way to actually embrace the world. We're creating the building blocks of a new planetary enclosure. We're creating the building blocks of a new planetary environment. We're creating the building blocks of a new story of value, which becomes the immersive environment in which we live and from which we generate reality. And so we always generate reality from within a story. But the assumption is that the stories are made up. That there are no true stories, there are no real stories. Stories are but myths. Stories are made up. And, I've cited kind of the postmodern critic, the postmodern, parrot, right, who also critiques the techplex, but whose critique collapses, Yuval Harari, right, who parrots the postmodern view that story is but a fiction, but a figment of our imagination, but a social construct. And that story is, in essence, in Harari's phrase, story is a lie. It's a direct quote. All stories are lies. All stories of value are lies. But the stories of value cohere reality. So I just want to get this clear. I fully believe, meaning I would stake my life on it. As a matter of fact, I am staking my life on it. And lots of us are staking our lives on it together. We're living our lives in it together. We're not giving up our lives for it. We're living our lives for it. We're being lived as love, in it, as it, and right all the way. We're here to go, as my friend Barbara Marks Hubbard, whose birthday we're going to celebrate next week. Barbara always used to say, "Mark, are you ready to go all the way in this lifetime? Are we going to go all the way in this lifetime? We're going to go all the way in this lifetime." So I want to say that I am absolutely certain that what we are doing is utterly essential to our very humanity, meaning not just the humanity of those of us on the call, but to the future of humanity. Right? Meaning I'm utterly convinced, based on an enormous amount of data points and data sets and, some 50 years of thinking about this. And yes, I am about 93. I look young for my age. I hope I look young for my age, right? Right, but I'm utterly convinced that without a new story of value from which we generate reality, value that's real, we have no chance of actually responding effectively to the meta crisis, to existential risk. Anyone who's been with us knows the next sentence. Existential risk expresses itself in two forms: the potential death of humanity and the potential death of our humanity. We can't respond to that with infrastructure fixes. But let's fix this piece of tech or that piece of tech. Let's have, social media not be available to children below 16, says my colleague Jonathan Haidt, and who's done a good job of challenging, kind of iPhones in classrooms and, has been part of the social media critique in a very, very powerful way. He's a sociologist from New York University and has had enormous impact. But of course, Jonathan at the same time tells us in, a number of his books, and I spend one night, I don't know, a year ago, maybe 15 hours straight trying to read at least read through the core of his 4 or 5 books. Right? Jonathan's also very clear that he thinks value is not real. Right? He's a materialist at his core, kind of lost in that position for a number of reasons. Couldn't crack value theory. But that's always one of the hidden reasons. Good researcher. So he's kind of on the one hand, fighting the good fight against potential forms of the death of our humanity. Let's have, cell phones, right? You can't use in classrooms, and don't be on social media at a certain level till you're 16. And these are all important things to do. These are all valuable. Right? The example I always give is let's figure out how to search for biological weapons in the wastewater, new technologies that are becoming available, infrastructure. They all matter. But you can't actually generate a new reality. You can't actually respond to the meta crisis. You can't respond, right, to the meta crisis unless you understand its sources. Its core sources are a global intimacy disorder, which prevents us from creating the global coherence which we need for global coordination. And that global intimacy disorder it expresses itself in 13, 14 ways. One of them is we're alienated from each other. 2 is we're alienated from reality. If I'm not in the field of value, if value is not real, if value doesn't live in me, right? If I don't live in a field of value, in the intimate universe, which is a field of value, doesn't live in me, then I am in a fundamental state of alienation and dissociation from the real. And that is called psychosis, right? The fundamental state of alienation and dissociation from the real is called psychosis. And that is Jonathan Haidt's basic position. It's a psychotic position. Not that Jonathan's psychotic. Jonathan's undoubtedly a wonderful and beautiful and wonderful man. And, I just happened to look at his acknowledgement, bio thing. I think he's married with kids, and I'm sure lots of friends, and I'm sure just a gorgeous human being. All good. It's not about Jonathan, obviously.
I hope you're enjoying this episode with Dr. Marc Gafni. Now, I needed to take a quick second to let you know right now we are running a super special holiday book giveaway. If you would like one of our newest books, Wholemate, The Future of Relationships, you can get the ebook version completely for free right now. You can also get the paperback version for a great discounted rate. If you click the link in the description below, you can get yourself a copy. Now, what is this book going to teach you? This book is going to walk you through the 3 levels of relationship, from rolemate to soulmate to wholemate. It is the evolution through these 3 levels of relationships that make our relationships fulfilling, satisfying, and super, super intimate. Now, this isn't just about your romantic relationships. This is also about your friendships, your family relationships, your relationships to your society and the collective around you, and the relationship to yourself and to reality itself. This book is going to walk you through all different types of relationships and give you the keys to how to evolve every single type of relationship that you are in. This is also such a special book because it is not just written by Dr. Marc Gafni, but in collaboration with Barbara Marx Hubbard. Barbara Marx Hubbard's birthday is also December 22nd, which is this Monday. So this book giveaway is also in honorance and remembrance of Barbara Marx Hubbard and all the amazing evolutionary work she did in her time here on planet Earth. So thank you, Barbara, for everything you've done. And if you are interested in taking all of your relationships to a more fulfilling, more holistic, more sustainable place, then go check out the link in the description and enjoy the holiday season. It's also a perfect gift to give to either a romantic lover or to a friend or family member who you know really wants to deepen their relationships to their friends, family, and romantic partners as well. Wishing you the best holiday season and enjoy Wholemate, the future of relationships.
But the position, right? The position, right? And you can have lots of individual people who are gorgeous, and you can have lots of people who have right thinking who are, I think the expression in the book of Psalms is assholes. Obviously, that's not the point, right? The point is how do we form the fabric of reality? And we're formed, right, by the fabric of the reality that is woven, and that's woven through the story of value. Okay. But all of them, I'm picking up that sentence. Everyone with me? I'm picking up that sentence. But all of them deny value is real. Right? So we need a story, right, of value that is real, that we can live inside of, from which we generate, right, a new reality from which we respond to existential risk, right? So we're here to generate that story of value. And every week we come together to write a new piece of that story. And, you know, what I began saying was, and I'm utterly convinced, and I say that with what we call in the lineage of Solomon, we call it tikufot, T-E-K-U-F-O-T, tikufot, which means complete humility. I mean, utter, like, oh my God, total, like, right? Complete humility. Right? And radical audacity. So tikufot is this place in which humility and audacity come together, and there's no split between them, because you realize that it's all moving through you. It's not owned by your separate self. It's not owned by your egoic pretension, right? It's not owned by your grasping. It's not owned by your seeking, right? It actually is, right? When you clarify your interiority, you feel she's moving through you, or you realize you're an artist. We're all artists, right? But in our most clarified sense, we're artists, and spirit moves through us, right? You know, Dylan was asked recently, like, why are his songs so bad now, right? The new ones that he wrote. And he described that period of time, right, in the 60s, right? You know, the early, you know, the first half and, you know, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, when those, you know, times are changing. Remember that song, Times Are Changing? These, you know, he just said the songs just came through. And the notion he would ascribe them to Bob Dylan would be absurd. So that's not Dylan's modesty. It's not Dylan's being modest. Dylan's many things. Modest is not one of them, right? It's not modesty, right? It's accuracy. Right. So we're here articulating the story of value, and she is alive with us. She is moving in the space, right? She is in the building. She has not left the building. I am shocked that since we started this endeavor in 2009, when I founded the think tank with my dear friend Ken Wilber, right? And I look back at 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we were doing beautiful things. We were trying to articulate it. When I look back at it, I'm embarrassed how primitive it was. It's step at a time. It's hard won. It's blood on the ground. It's mad commitment. It's outrageous love. It's the passion of she moving through in every second. It's rigor and demand and hard. It's hard. And it's graceful and it's gracious and it's spacious, but she is moving with us. And we are articulating what I believe is the best framework, the best story of value that's possible in the world today, that has the capacity to be received by culture. By culture, I mean China, I mean Europe, I mean Africa, right? I mean, right, Asia, I mean, right, yes, New Zealand, right, et cetera, right? South America, North America, right? Australia, right? The whole thing. If I missed a continent, sorry. Antarctica, right? Oh my God, right? We can do this. It has that capacity. And that's why we're not doing it in anyone's name. We're doing it under a collective, pseudo-anonymous, name, right? David J. Temple, right? And it's this collective authorship. So I'm utterly, utterly convinced, I'm utterly clear to me that what we're doing is beyond essential. And that is frightening and necessary. And it drives me day and night. It drives me day and night, like literally day and night. And we do it together. We're holding it together, right? We're laying it down for this. It's like, It's like, wow. Okay. So I want to just feel that with you. Can you feel that with me? Anybody? That's what I mean when I say home, right? That's what we're here for. We're here for that. That's what we're doing here together.